Welcome to Jellyman Finance. I'm really excited to finally be able to start this channel, and we're going to start off with talking about why people never get out of debt. And when it comes to your finances, your financial well-being, all of it starts with savings and debt. So let's get started with why people can't get out of debt. All right, here we go. So there's kind of three things that I'll start with, but obviously there's heaps more reasons why people don't get out of debt. But these are like the fundamental basics. And when you listen to them, you're like, oh, it's pretty obvious. But a lot of this is just habitual, all right? That word always sounds dirty, but it's not, I swear. So let's start with the first one, which is spending more than you earn, all right? So here we go. Maybe I'll do black. Where's my black? No black. Actually, I want green and red. So let's say you make money, all right? So let's say you make money, start of the month, great, so you made money, and then you spent some of it. Great, so it goes back down. So this is like your balance, right? The vertical is your balance. And then you make more money, right? So your savings are going up. Now what people do is they go, oh great, I've got some extra savings now. I'm gonna spend some more. And they go back down and they go, I'm gonna spend some more. I'm gonna earn some more. I'm gonna spend some more, earn some more, spend. And you can see the trajectory on this is kind of going like that. Right? A majority of these people have, a single bank account. So it's just a single account in their app, on their online banking. And it's very hard to keep track of how much you're actually spending, how much you're saving month on month. So one of the things that really helped me with this is, and I stole this from Barefoot Investor, which is basically, if you imagine this is your app, you set multiple accounts. So one is for holiday, you probably can't see that. One is for holiday, one is for emergency, one is for gas bill, one is for pets. And I pretty much had like 9 of these at one point. And what was great was your pay comes in and automatically it will send the right amount of money to each one of these. So I know that, we buy pet food, cost me $100, $150 a month. I'll put a little bit more than 150. So I'll put like 200 towards pets. So then a little bit starts to build up there. And what happens is if you have one here that's like you're spend as much as you want, because the amount of money your money has already been split so that these are all constantly growing. And obviously you'll have a savings one in there as well. One other strategy people like to employ is you open up another account at a completely different bank. Make sure there's no card associated with it. If they send you one, just cut it up. And then you automatically send money from your main account to this other one. And it's sort of like, when you hide stuff around your house and then you completely forget where it is. If you can't see it every day, you don't know it's there, and it just builds up in the background. So that helps a lot, that helped me a lot. So what really it should look like, where's my green, is once you kind of got this managed and you're doing it habitually, again, that dirty word, but if it's all automated, you kind of don't have to make it a habit because the automation does it for you. So what will happen is, you make some money, you spend less, even if that difference is only like $50 or $100, that's fine. And then you make money, and then you spend a little bit less, make money, spend a little bit less. And basically all you're trying to do is make sure you're not spending more than you make. It's very tempting to just be like, wow, I need something, I need a credit card, right? And that's pretty much where the mistake happens, because now you're borrowing from your future self somewhere down here, right? Which is, you don't want to do that. You just want to do this. And the difference, I think this is probably maybe why some people give up, is if the difference between how much you were able to save, which is this much, is really small. Let's say, I don't know, 50 bucks. Let's say that's $50. It's very easy to dismiss and be like, well, what am I going to do with 50 bucks? But it's the habit. So what they say is what you do with small amounts of money is going to be the same thing that you do when you have large sums of money. And learning how to convert the $50 a month, which then becomes $100 a month, $150 a month, learning how to invest that into the right vehicles will make that small amount of money really large. So how do I know this? For those of you that don't know, that's basically how superannuation works. So when you have an income and you get a paycheck, they take a small amount and they put it to your super. That super company take that money and they invest it in something so that when you get to retirement age, 65, 70, whatever it is, you'll have several millions of dollars in your bank account, right? That's basically how it works. So that's number one. All right, number two, which is many people don't understand how bad interest actually is. And I'm talking specifically about credit cards, but this also extends to car loans and personal loans and all sorts of other loans. You can get, your pay faster, afterpay, all that kind of stuff. Anything where there's like a penalty for not paying back what you owe, that's dangerous because of how compounding works. So let me explain how this works visually. Okay, so let's say these are months. All right, those are months. And I owe, we'll use red actually. For my next video, I'm gonna buy thicker texters, all right? So nobody, I know you guys are gonna write in the comments of like, I can't read it. That's right, I'll zoom in. Okay, so this is your debt on month one, okay? That month one creates interest, right? Which you owe on top of it. So next month, it's gonna be a little bit bigger. So the interest generated from that is now this much. Okay, now if you don't pay that, then it gets bigger the next month, okay? So it goes like this, and then that blue one gets a little bit bigger again, okay? And then the cycle repeats. And very quickly, it gets out of control. Now, I know this firsthand. I've had multiple credit cards when I was young, didn't know what I was doing, and this is what balloons out of control, okay? So our goal is either don't create it in the first place or just understand what it means when you see on your credit card statement, minimum monthly repayment. So that minimum monthly repayment, not to get into specifics, and also, every bank's a little bit different, but basically the goal of the minimum monthly repayment is to get you to pay just enough so that this amount is kind of maintained. It will drop down a little bit, right? But it's still maintained because banks don't really want you to pay it off sooner because this is their profit. All these blues, that's the money they make off you for lending you that money. This is the same theory as a mortgage, any type of debt that creates interest. What's fascinating about this is you could look at this and go, well, what if we don't look at this as debt, credit card debt, and we look at this as investment? If I put $10 here and I invested in, let's say this is Apple, right? Apple company. I invested in that, and each year their stock value grew, my stock actually grows. So you can use this idea of interest or compound interest in your favor through investing, okay? Not just from debt, which works in reverse and kind of kicks your, right? So let's see what it should look like and things that you can do. So if you have a debt, right, and this happened to me as well. Let's say you have a debt. The interest that is going to generate, you want to either somehow stop it completely, or you want to pay off more than just that amount. You want to pay more than that. So you want to pay the interest plus a lot more than you otherwise would, right? So beyond the minimum monthly repayment. So that next month, instead of the red being very large, the red gets a little bit smaller, and so does the blue, because the blue grows proportionally to how much your debt is. But if you're reducing it much faster, then you're going to be paying less interest. So in terms of home loans, that main debt is called the principal, and the interest is just called interest. Okay, interest I. All right, so that's how interest works. So when you're starting off and trying to get financially stable, ensuring you have savings and not cracking, when mortgage rates go up or unexpected bills and all that kind of stuff, you want to make sure you have no debt. Later on, when you get better at finance and know how to make proper use of these kinds of vehicles, then get into it. But I would recommend for anyone starting who is probably on this channel just trying to kind of improve their lives a bit, get out of debt as your number one priority. Just get out of debt. It will free you up emotionally and mentally and physically even, so that you can start focusing, okay, now I'm out of debt, how can I push forward? Because the money you were giving here can now be used for investing, can now be used for building your savings, can now be, saved up for a holiday, whatever it might be, right? So pay off your debt, you gotta do that. All right, number 3. So number 3 is they spend the surplus, right? So let's say you earn some money. Okay, so you go, whoop, and then you have all your regular spending. So it goes down a bit. That difference there, right? That's your savings. So then next month, you make the same amount, you spend the same amount, bills and all that stuff, goes down. That is your savings for that month. What some people do is they go, cool, I've got money now, why don't I go buy a TV? Why don't I go buy this? Why don't I go buy that? And that's bad, especially at the beginning. So you wanna save as much of this as possible at the beginning. And the reason is when you learn how to convert this money into investments that create more money when you're not working. Like for example, I invest in, stocks and index funds, and those make money when I'm sleeping, when I'm on holiday, if I'm working, if I'm not working, if I'm at home, if I'm on the damn toilet, like it's just doing it. It's just making money, right? That's your goal. You want to get your money to make more money. Once you learn how to do that, then you can start spending and enjoying it a lot more because you don't have to go into debt. It's sustainable, it's got a long-term future, I guess you can call it. So that's what you should be doing for the surplus. Now to give you an idea, and I'll pull out my trusty calculator in a bit, and I'll test you. Let's say you had $5,000 right now. So let's say 5,000, right, 5K. And instead of buying a new TV or a new car or whatever, you said, no, I'm gonna invest it in stocks. Now, I'm not gonna get into the whole, well, stocks are risky and all that, just take my word for it for now. And that stock grows by, let's say, 15% a year. Now I'm drawing sideways because, I don't wanna do that. And we're gonna do that for 30 years. You're just gonna leave it there. How much do you think $5,000 will become in 30 years at 15%? Where's my calculator? All right, so here we go. So I've turned this sideways. So if we have $5,000, and put it in the comments if you can guess exactly how much it is, and you'll probably be shocked at how off you are. So 1.15 to the power of 30 years. How much does 5,000 become in 30 years? It is around about, all the way up here, $331,000. So dividends, which is what they give you as a reward for investing in them, is a percentage of this. So let's say it's 2%, right? For example, that means with doing nothing, you don't have to do anything. 2% of this is roughly, $6,500, something like that. You get that every year, no matter what. That's just the dividend. That's not the portfolio growth. That's just the dividend, and you can spend that, right? But you're probably going, well, I don't want to wait 30 years. But you're also missing the fact that you're going to invest way more than 5K over your lifetime. You're probably going to invest, like for me personally, when I got out of debt, it was so much easier to invest because you had all this extra money, and because you were a lot happier, you had more savings, you had more buffer, you take more risks in life, you go for the jobs you want, you get paid more there, and then you take that money and you invest it again, and kind of the cycle just repeats and repeats and repeats. And if you got good habits, you can convert really small amounts of money into bigger and bigger sums of money. But it all starts with getting out of debt. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye.